let's talk waiver wire pitchers from the long Labor Day weekend. And the first group includes Shane Baz, who pitched well up against the Padres. 5 innings, 2 runs, 5 strikeouts. He's mostly pitched well. We're still waiting for more whiffs to come on those secondary pitches. Gavin Williams turned in probably his best start of the season at the Royals. 7 innings, 1 hit, 1 run, 6 strikeouts. He had 10 whiffs on 98 pitches. Only 3 quality starts in 12 tries this season. Jameson Taillon pitched a gem up against the Pirates. 7 shutout innings with 3 strikeouts for him. His previous 6 starts, pretty bad. 6.55 ERA and a 1.36 whip. And Cody Bradford continues his great run, this time up against the A's. 7 innings, 2 runs, 8 strikeouts. Had 14 whiffs on 97 pitches. Last 5 starts for Bradford, 2.61 ERA and a .87 whip. Scott, how would you rank Bradford, Taillon, Gavin Williams, and Shane Baz?
I would put Bradford number 1, and it's kind of surprising how little attention he's getting with the waiver wire being starved for good starting pitchers right now, because he has gone his last 5 starts. Cody Bradford, 2.61 ERA, .87 whip, 8.1 K per 9, and he's gone at least 6 innings in 4 of those 5 starts. He's throws a ton of strikes, decent strikeout guy. A lot of fly balls, which limits hits, does make him vulnerable to the long ball. But if he's walking so few, I think Cody Bradford could continue to be a solid contributor in fantasy. After him, Jameson Taillon feels like the safest. He had been on a bad stretch there with a 6.55 ERA in his previous 6, but control artist like Cody Bradford consistently works deep into games. He did make a notable change here in his arsenal to find this success against the Pirates on Monday. 35% sinkers instead of 9%. And cut down on the 4-seamer and curveball usage. Those are his 2 hardest hit pitches. So I think hopefully Jameson Taillon has figured out a way out of his tailspin here. I'll go Gavin Williams 3rd. Don't entirely trust him yet, but 2 pretty good starts in a row, and both of them he basically eliminated his changeup. Not that he threw it a lot previously, but it was just getting crushed, and I think abandoning that changeup entirely might help Gavin Williams continue to pitch well. Shane Baz, I'll go 4th. I just haven't seen enough reason for optimism there. His good starts have been merely decent.
All right, the next group includes JP Sears, who had himself a great start at the Rangers. 7 innings, 1 run, 4 strikeouts. He has gone 7+ innings in 5 of his last 6. Again, that's JP Sears. Albert Suarez turned in a strong start in Coors Field. 7 innings, 2 runs, 4 strikeouts, 12 whiffs on 95 pitches. Had a great August, 1.19 ERA and a .99 whip. Luis Ortiz of the Pirates had a great start at the Guardians. 6 shutout innings with 5 strikeouts for him. That's back-to-back scoreless outings. And Matthew Boyd, he's actually pitched pretty well here with the Guardians. Took a tough luck loss up against the Pirates. 6 innings, 1 run, 8 strikeouts, 18 whiffs on 90 pitches for Matthew Boyd. Scott, any interest in any of these names? They're a little bit lower down the roster rate, but JP Sears, Albert Suarez, Luis Ortiz, and Matthew Boyd.
So the time to pick up Suarez was this week with him scheduled to face the White Sox. He had obviously been pitching well since returning to the rotation. I don't really understand it, but got to take advantage of matchups like that. I don't know. The one with the most upside is probably Boyd, but the case for Boyd is the same that it's been for like 5 years now, and he's rarely made good on it. So he misses bats at a nice rate since returning to the majors. 13.1% swinging strike rate. That's of course very good. Very high fly ball rate, as has always been the case for Matthew Boyd. So the hope is that those fly balls, enough of them stay in the park, that his ability to miss bats, we can take advantage of it because the ERA isn't inflated. But how many times have we been down that road before with Boyd? I don't know that we should expect it to go any differently this time. So in terms of usability, I'm going to go Suarez 1, JP Sears 2, then Boyd, and Luis Ortiz 4th. I don't see a lot to get excited about there with Ortiz.
Last point I wanted to
He's
make
just
on
a tease. He's just an Ortiz.
last point I wanted to make on JP Sears is, like Suarez, a great matchup this week going up against the Seattle Mariners. So I know we're kind of past the point, but if you play in a daily lineup league and you're looking for some streamers, I think Sears and Suarez are both totally fine there. Some names in deeper leagues. Alex Cobb returned Sunday with a great start up against the Pirates. 6 innings, 1 unearned run with 6 strikeouts. And Joey Estes put together a quality start at the Rangers. 6 innings, 2 runs, 7 strikeouts. Last 8 starts for Estes, it's a 2.88 ERA, a .98 WHIP. The underlying numbers do not buy it at all. I'm pretty sure I say that every single time I bring up Joey Estes, but he also faces the Mariners this week, so maybe it could work.
Yeah, maybe. The thing Joey Ortiz has going for him is kind of what I said.
Joey Estes.
Sorry, Joey Estes. My mind was still on that dumb Ortiz joke. Okay, Joey Estes, the thing he has going for him is sort of what I laid out for Cody Bradford. Throws a ton of strikes and puts the ball in the air a lot. So, if the fly balls are limiting hits, but aren't limiting home runs, but then there aren't many walks, then those home runs are mostly of the solo variety. Maybe it won't be so bad. So I'm less interested overall in Joey Estes than in Cody Bradford, but it is a similar profile, and I could see it working out. Alex Cobb is more interesting here. In fact, Alex Cobb might be more interesting than anyone in the previous group, too, which remember included Albert Suarez, JP Sears, and Matthew Boyd. I've never been the biggest Cobb fan. There have been some Cobb enthusiasts over the years, but when he has that splitter working, he can put together a bunch of really good starts, and it seemed to be back to form with his return from a cracked fingernail. Who knows how much his finger was bothering him prior to that, and maybe that explains why the splitter wasn't doing much for Alex Cobb, but pretty good track record for him. Whips tend to be on the high side, but respectable ERA, respectable strikeout rate, and could be useful down the stretch.
2 pretty highly rated pitching prospects made their major league debuts this weekend. Rhett Lauder of the Reds pitched against the Brewers, 4 innings, 1 run, 4 walks, 6 strikeouts, did have 10 whiffs on 77 pitches. And Angels top pitching prospect Caden Dana turned in a quality start up against the Mariners, 6 innings, 2 runs, 4 strikeouts, 4 walks, had 13 whiffs on 95 pitches. He's only 20 years old. We spoke about this last week with him, but the minor league numbers were really, really good at AA. Scott, were you putting in any bids this weekend, maybe in some of those deeper leagues on a Rhett Lauder or Caden Dana?
I really wasn't. I'm not counting on them being that useful down the stretch, and I was discouraged that each of them walked 4 in their debut. It is only 1 start, I get it, but especially for Rhett Lauder, I don't think that there's enough swing and miss in his arsenal for him to be anything less, to get away with being anything less than an elite control pitcher. So Rhett Lauder can't afford those walks. And Caden Dana, he threw 57% of his pitches for strikes. It wasn't just a handful of walks. He was not really in the zone much at all. And I think it's a big ask here at age 20, going straight from AA, to think Caden Dana is going to be a big difference maker. He's not an especially big swing and miss pitcher either. Not quite as low as Rhett Lauder as far as that goes. But yeah, I think it's a stretch to think either of these will help much.